Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamakua Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany and today we are Waterbath canning. Today's recipe is based off of a recipe out of the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. However, it does have a variation. Therefore, this recipe that I'm about to show you is not tested and approved the way that it is being created today. That being said, proceed at your own risk, but I think it's going to be very delicious. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get on with our recipe. It's actually pretty close. I'm doing this off of the strawberry lemonade concentrate juice recipe. In my version here, it's on page 192. But instead of strawberries, we're doing cherries. A lot of folks will do this with cherry lime. Well, that's what I was gonna do, but when I got home from the store, I realized that I bought lemon juice instead of lime juice. So that's what we're doing. Start off with 6 cups of cherries, fresh or frozen. Puree your cherries in a blender or your bullet. Or a food processor. Once they're all juiced up, stick them into a large pot and then gonna start heating them up. Add in 4 cups of lemon juice. And 6 cups of granulated sugar. Heat this to 190 degrees. We don't want it to come to a boil. It's that simple. Now it's time we can put it into jars. I think we need to do a taste test. Okay. It's not quite hot yet. I'm quite sure that it will be way too sweet for me, but that's okay. Why do I smell everything? I don't know. That's concentrated. Oh, but it's good. Ooh, but it's good. Yeah. I like that combination, the cherry and the lemon. Like I said, my original intention was to do cherry lime, but oh well. This is delicious. It's definitely concentrated. With it, the other one, the strawberry lemon, we do dilute it a lot more than the instructions tell us. If you just do half juice, half water, it's still too strong, cause heartburn. It's like, whoa, that's too much. So if you do like 1 pint of this with 2 pints of water, then it's a better mix, but we'll try that when it's done. We'll see if it applies here. I don't see why it wouldn't. But the cherries that I used are really dark and really sweet, and I think that that was a very good choice, if I do say so myself. So we are continuing to stir this and keep an eye on it, because with all that sugar in there, it could burn quickly, and also it will come up to temperature rather quick. Don't let it get away from you. Now, this recipe says that it will make 7 pint jars. So, that's what we're trying for. Definitely using my funnel on this one because I don't want to get all the stickiness on here. Some is unavoidable, but maybe we don't have to get all of it on there. Now, I might even venture one day and do this with other types of juices as well. That sounds exciting, don't you think? We are filling up our jars with a 1/4 inch headspace. A 1/4 inch headspace is to this line right here, this top one. So you're gonna stop filling at the bottom of this top line right here. If you were doing 1/2 inch, it would be at the bottom of this one. 1 full inch, bottom of this one. This only works on this side of the jar. It does not work over here. I'm removing a good amount of the foam because it's getting in my way of being able to get an accurate read on the headspace, honestly. Did pretty good on the 7 pint jars. I'm very pleased. So now it's time we are going to clean off our rims with vinegar. And you want to make sure that you get all this ooey gooey gunk off the rim. It will interfere with your seal, and then it's no good. Now it's time to put on our rings. You put on your rings. Make sure they're fingertip tight. If you over tighten them, it'll cause the lid to buckle. If you under tighten them, obviously that's not going to work because it's not going to seal properly. It's not going to hold it down in place. It'll just come right off in the boiling process. Now stick these in your canner. You want to make sure that your water is 1 inch above, or 2 inches is fine, above the level of your lids. We're going to let that come all the way up to a full rolling boil. You'll notice that I put the hot juice inside of the jars, and then the jars are then hot. So then those hot jars go into hot water. You don't want to put hot jars into cold water or cold jars into hot water, because then you're going to increase your chances of thermal shock and your glass might break. Hot, hot, cold, cold. But while that's happening, let's take this little bit of leftovers and test it out. You can mix this with anything really you want. I just used water and ice, but you could definitely mix it with club soda. You could mix it with seltzer of any sort, 7-Up, Sprite, you name it. Anything bubbly would be really delicious, honestly. It's a little bit strong. Little bit strong, my friend. But it's delicious. I'll tell you that right now. My kid's gonna be stoked. Stoked. It's so good. But definitely something bubbly would make it even better, honestly. Like bubbly drinks or LaCroix or whichever of those things. Oh yeah, delish. Our canner came up to a full rolling boil. Now set your timer for 15 minutes. Our timer just went off. So we just turn off the heat. We're going to take the lid off. Make sure you open it away from you so that it doesn't come up and burn you in the face. And now we're just gonna leave it set there for a good 5 minutes, and then we will take them out. And the reason we wanna wait for that 5 minutes is because we've turned the heat off and taken the lid off, which both of those things are going to stop it from continuing its process and being so hot as it has been. But we don't want that temperature change to happen too quickly. So we're gonna go ahead and just let it sit, let it cool down for 5 minutes, and they'll still be piping hot, of course, but then we can safely take them out. This is another way of preventing thermal shock, but it's also a way of ensuring that your lids are going to attach to your jars better, and you're going to have more success with your seals. When you're taking your jars out, you want to be careful. You don't want to jerk them around or tip them over, try to get the water off the top, because then you're more likely to interfere with that good seal. Getting the junk coming up, it's not quite done yet. You need to just set it gently, careful, level, no problem. Just leave it alone. That is all there is to it. Now we have 7 beautiful pint jars of our cherry lemon juice. From here, we leave it right here on the counter on this towel for 24 hours. At that point, we want to make sure that we test our lids, make sure that they're on there real good. We'll wash our jars. If you don't wash your jars, you're increasing a chance of creating mold on the exterior of your jar. Right here on the threads, a lot of times when you have something that's got sugar or something that has meat in it, has fat, any kind of bone broth, you're going to have gunk on the rims, on the threads. And you want to make sure that you wash those off, because otherwise you're going to put these jars up on your shelf and they're going to be so gorgeous and you're going to love to look at them. Go ahead and grab one to use it, and there's mold. Visible, nasty, yucky mold. It might not be on the inside of the jar, and it shouldn't be if you canned it right. But still, that's just, it's a disappointment for all of your hard work. That's why I really like to wash my jars, to make sure that they stay all nice. Then go ahead and label your jars. Make sure that you put at least a month and a year on there, and then put them up on your shelf. And that's going to do it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Hamakua Homestead. I'll see you again soon.